Do you often feel like an outsider, like you don't fit in or belong? Like you're alone even though you're surrounded by other people? If yes, stay here because I'll share some thoughts on what we can do to strengthen our sense of belonging and connection with others, even though we may never fully fit in. Hey everyone, and welcome back or welcome to my channel where I discuss self-leadership so you can guide yourself in a way that allows you to live your life to the fullest. I'm Maika, a psychologist, and so many people showed interest in my last video on belonging. I received tons of comments on social media of people saying they've always felt like an alien, like a misfit, like they're divergent. And I thought there's so much more to be said on belonging. Let me talk about it again. I personally also know this feeling, especially in my teens. I often felt like that. I think it's a feeling most people know. And what really turned it around for me was the 4 years I spent traveling all over Germany, giving 2-day trainings to people that started out as strangers, but came incredibly close to each other in the course of just 2 days. By opening up, listening to each other, and treating each other with kindness. So right now I feel like when I meet someone that I don't know, I feel more like us being strangers is something that is very superficially and that ice can easily be broken if we give our connection time and attention. Anyway, there are definitely things that we can do to strengthen our sense of belonging, ways we can restructure our thinking so that we feel more like we belong and like we're connected to others, even if we're alone. And I'd like to take a look at those things right now. Not fitting in is universal. This is the truth to reflect when we feel like we don't fit in. To remind ourselves that this is one of the most common experiences out there. If we feel like I'm the only one that feels like an out of place weirdo, then that will be something that will even increase our sense of being disconnected and not belonging. But it can become something that we can feel connected over with others if we remind ourselves that probably 99% of the people surrounding me right now have felt like this before or are feeling like this right now. So it's really a question of what we can expect. We can't expect to fit in all the time with everyone. We can't expect to be understood all the time by everyone. There will always be things that we have in common and things that make us different from others. And when we can accept that, it brings a lot of mental peace because we'll stop fighting something that we can't change. And then we'll start going into social situations looking for commonalities to bond over. And that one of those things could be that we don't feel like we fit in. Rather than noticing all the ways that we are different and then letting that make us insecure. You're not too peculiar. Everyone feels like they don't fit in at some point, but that doesn't mean we can't experience belonging at all. Rather, if we can learn to navigate true connection, we can feel like we belong more and more. Fitting in isn't necessary. Another relieving truth is that we don't need to fit in to belong. We can be different from another and still belong to each other on the deepest level. That requires a mature way of dealing with difference and diversity, appreciating uniqueness, something the world needs to get better at in general. So what I'm saying isn't that there won't be people out there who will make you feel like you don't belong because you don't fit in. What I'm saying is that they're wrong to be threatened by diversity and difference. And you do belong. We all do. And luckily there are many people out there who are already pretty good at belonging and inclusivity, and it's so worthwhile to seek them out, to connect with them, and knowing that this is possible even if you're not completely alike. And I think that this is also one of the reasons why we enjoy stories of friendships that are unlikely so much, because they show this power of belonging no matter how different we are from each other. Daring to be ourselves. So I've already mentioned a few times that we won't ever really 100% fit in because we are all unique, which means that wherever we go, whoever we are with, there will be reasons we're different. And the question is how we are going to deal with that, with not fitting in, with being different. And one approach is to say, I don't fit in, so let me present myself in such a way that I will emphasize things I have in common with these people and hide things that make me different so that I become a better fit. The other approach is to be authentic, to be who we are. And the problem with the first approach of trying to become a better fit is that it will actually increase our loneliness and sense of not belonging. It'll increase the likelihood of being stereotyped and misunderstood. Because we want to be seen as who we are and accepted as who we truly are, yet we're not showing ourselves. We feel like we're alone even though we're surrounded by other people because we're actually not there, right? We're hiding ourselves. And if I'm not there, I can't feel connected with others. So to feel connection, I need to step out of my armor and masks and actually be there. And yes, it does make sense to be mindful of who we open up to what degree, if to see that we can trust someone. But once we've done that, it takes self-acceptance and it takes the courage to make ourselves vulnerable and be authentic, show our true self to the world. And once we've done that, once we've laid aside all of the masks and armory, we can experience true connection and belonging. Giving others a chance. We can get so accustomed to being different and misunderstood that we become judgmental and start labeling everyone else as the ones that don't get me. And belonging requires that we give others a chance. And yes, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But if we don't take that first chance, we'll miss out on all the meaningful connections we could be experiencing. To know that I can only be understood by others if I'm willing to make an effort to make myself understandable. Being understood is a two-way street. Giving others a chance also means reaching out, not just waiting for others to reach out, but reach out yourself. Call someone, text, meet on Zoom, invite them to do something together. Make and take time for people. Belonging is complex. We are complex beings. Groups are complex. It's only natural that belonging is also complex. There are ways in which we belong amongst our family that we don't belong amongst our friends. Ways that we belong with our friends that we don't belong at work, and so on. It's wild, it's beautiful, it's complex, and it's okay like that. Allow yourself to belong in different ways amongst different people. That doesn't mean you're not true to yourself. It just means that you're allowing your different sides to get nourishment. Belonging is subjective. What this means is that just as you can feel alone even when you're surrounded by people, you can feel connected to others when you're alone or when you're surrounded by people you've never met before. What this highlights is that our sense of belonging and connection has nothing to do with the number of friends or confidence or acquaintances we have. It depends solely on our mindset, on our subjective sense of belonging to this world, to people, to the groups we're a part of, to our families and friends. And it's something that we can learn to get better at. We can think of it as a skill, the capacity to experience belonging. And if you want to practice it, to get better at it, there's a meditation form that has been proven by science to strengthen our sense of connection to others. It's called loving kindness meditation. All in all, we are deeply social creatures. And yes, we differ in how we want to experience connection, whether that's the number of people we meet with and how often we meet, but we are deeply social. And we can get better at connection, which is something that we crave, by working on our mindset around belonging. Thanks for connecting with me today. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Take care, and remember, you can get better at feeling like you belong by practice.